that 5 minutes is done now. You're never going to get it back.
It's alright. There's a couple times in my life where 5 minutes I'm not gonna get back. Don't worry about it. Hi, Joel.
Hey, Gareth.
Hi, Joel.
Hey, Gareth.
Hi, Joel.
Gareth.
Hi,
Joel. What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing, eh? What are you doing on this fine night, on this fine evening?
This
Have you got
fine
yourself
evening.
a drink?
Yeah, I do. I've drunk
What have you
most
got?
of it now. I've got some Robinson's squash.
Some Robinson's squash. What flavour?
It's orange. It's the classic.
It's a classic orange.
I can have the orange.
Basic orange, I say.
I can have the apple and black currant because those do not contain barley.
Wow. Are you allergic to barley?
I'm gluten-free. I'm gluten intolerant.
You're gluten-free. You're gluten in... Wait, are you gluten-free or gluten intolerant?
Well, I'm gluten intolerant, thus meaning my life is gluten-free.
Thus meaning that you are gluten-free.
Alas.
Yeah, I said it first.
I don't have gluten in my
But,
diet.
so you... Wait. So there's quite a few items of food that you can't eat.
There's many few items of food that I can't eat.
Why are your legs so thick then? Why are you such a thick boy?
Joel, why are you so fat if you can't have all the fatty foods?
There's a difference between fat and thick. Thick's attractive.
Oh, is it?
You
Do I
ain't
have
fat.
attractive legs?
You got big ass, sexy ass legs.
Can you hear my sexy legs through the voice? Is that how you can tell?
No, I've seen them.
Whoa! Explicit.
I've seen your legs.
Have I seen your
You've got
legs?
like dad calves as well.
Dad calves. They're calves.
You do
that's
have
what they
dad
are.
calves.
It's because of all the cycling I used to do to work. Every dad says that,
Jesus.
don't they? They all say, I used to work. Gosh, when I cycled 7 miles every morning when I went to school when I was 14, and now my calves are ripped because of it.
I've told you about my dad's calves, haven't I?
I don't think you did,
Fucking
actually.
Tree trunks. Actual tree trunks.
Oh, like, are they the
Yeah.
ones that kind of like start thin, go big, and then get thinner again by the ankle?
Well, he's got like regular size ankles, but they're just like, woof. Something happened in the genetic code of that man that when he gets like all the muscle from like past his ankle to his knee is woof.
How
Is the
tall
best way I can
is he?
describe it. 5'9", 5'10".
Oh, so because I've seen it before where some guys who are shorter and a bit more stocky have that kind of like thick calf, that like really muscly calf.
Built, man.
He's just
just
built.
like, I don't know what. Like I said, I don't know what he used to play squash. He used to play badminton. He used to play like normal sports, but I don't know what happened from his like, I guess mid-20s to late 40s.
He didn't fall
Zeus
into
just blessed him with calves.
a vat of radioactive waste, or he didn't go into a machine created by Nazi Germany back in 1945 and then came out crazily buff, did he? 'Cause I've seen that a few times.
I've never asked him. However, that wouldn't surprise me.
Ah, well, if it wouldn't surprise you, it's probably true.
Yeah. I think they definitely did something. I don't know who did it. I don't know what did it. I don't know how he did it. But they did something. Like, sometimes the ground shakes when he walks. You know?
Like an alien abduction's about to happen.
No, just like God's calves are walking into the... Like, God's calves has entered the room.
God's
sort of
calves
thing.
has entered the chat.
Pretty much. But you've got dad calves. My calves are quite thin. But then again, I danced for like 10 years, so...
The thing
Makes
is,
sense.
when I did dance in college, I had quite thin... I was very thin. Because even though we were strong, because of all the stretching that we did, we never got that buff.
Mm.
And it was like all of the exercises that we would do would contribute towards making us strong, but wouldn't make us built.
I mean, dance doesn't really make you built anyway. It makes you really toned.
Yes.
It's never going to build like a hell of a lot of muscle. Mistletoe. You want to kiss me under a mistletoe real quick?
I was thinking like ICBM missiles.
Oh, well, there's my day ruined. But yeah, like it's just all tone. I never got buff, and I'm still not buff now, but I'm very, very toned. And my calves are like slowly growing because I'm playing racket sports, I guess, which is a lot of running, a lot of hit training. So
as a side note, I've never heard anyone who I've ever known call it racket sport. That was such a nice, refreshing thing to hear. Maybe is it like an Americanism? I play racket sport.
No, you just fucking use rackets.
I'm just northern.
No, is it like I call it racket sports because I play all of them.
Oh.
It's like racket sports is easier than saying, oh, I play squash, tennis, badminton.
Are there any other racket sports? There must be some.
There's racquetball, but racquetball is American squash.
Did you ever play softball?
No, I'm not American.
It was like rounders, but with a bigger bat.
But shit.
But with a ball that wasn't as hard as it was weird.
Did you ever play cricket?
Oh yeah.
I feel like you'd play cricket.
Oh yeah, we played cricket a lot as kids.
Every Englishman plays cricket.
We also played not
in school
in our spare time, but in school we played Swedish handball, I think it was called.
What the fuck is Swedish handball?
And it consisted of having almost like if you're a gymnast and you've ever done gymnastics, and there's like what they call a display trampoline, which is a small square trampoline that's set up at like a 45-degree angle, and you'd have to throw the ball at this little small trampoline, and it would bounce back, and it was almost like kind of playing like volleyball with yourself, but there were two teams all in the same court. It was a lot of fun, to be fair. I enjoyed.
So the aim of the game was to throw a ball at a trampoline and to catch it again without the opposing team catching it before you.
I don't even remember what the scoring criteria was, but I'm sure it was something along those lines.
We won.
Did we?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't score a fucking point.
But what?
But we threw the ball off the trampoline. Yep.
Oh.
Isn't that the point of the game?
Nope.
So what is the trampoline for? You.
So what are the rules?
I get it now.
We can't tell you.
Figure them out, boy.
Speaking of figuring things out, have you ever heard of In Troy?
Not. Never mind. I was gonna say
Does that just derail you entirely?
Yeah, it really did. Have I ever heard In Troy?
It's a game called In Troy, or just Troy.
Well, I don't know what messed up games you played up north, but I've never been inside someone else called Troy.
Troy was a place. It isn't.
Troy.
It probably is a person now.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was a hell of a place.
You don't have to be in Troy. You can just be in the city.
You don't have to be in Troy to be in Troy. He'll take what he can get.
But it was
I've
a great
never
game.
Heard of it, no.
It was a great, and basically it was one of those mind games.
Right.
And it was like, try and work out what the rule is. And it was like, in Troy, there are tomatoes, but there aren't oranges. And now in Troy, there are roads, but there are no tomatoes.
What?
And now in Troy, there are ostriches, but there are no roads. And now in Troy, there's the Yemen River, but the ostriches have all gone.
What the fuck are you saying?
And this goes
on and on. That sounds like a more simplified version of the game I played in school where it was my nan went to the shop and picked up an apple. And then the next person would say, my nan picked up a shop and she grabbed an apple and a banana.
Oh,
and it would go through the alphabet, but you'd have to say everything that had been said beforehand. So by the time you get to like X, it would be like, my nan went to the shop and she grabbed an apple, banana, coconut, a DVD, and then etc. etc.
If you
and I was great at that.
I was gonna
say that I was fantastic at that.
If you manage to get to X, then I don't know who you are. That is insane.
I got to Z. It got to a point where some of the kids, including myself, got back round and we had to do the alphabet again to see who would win. Yeah.
Did you go to school with androids?
That's none of your business. Okay. No, honestly, like some of the kids were insane because obviously you develop a method and it's all easy things and you hear it so many fucking times because there's like 30 kids in the room, right? So you end up, if you're at the start, you end up messing up early, but it gets harder and harder as you go on. However, you've heard it 1,000 times by that point because if you're at Z, which is 26 letters in, right? You've heard someone recite, my nan went to the shop and bought X, Y, and Z 26 times by that point.
Do you get to a point?
You gotta remember as well. It was like a secondary school, so it was like when you got to that Y thing, you got to Y in the letter, and the kid,
do you want to try
and
that?
the teacher, no, it makes sense, and then the teacher's like, and trying to help you at the same time.
Oh,
but it like some of us didn't need it. I just smashed them out.
Those things I find are so much better when you've got a visual of like people in front of you because you can assign each word to a person. So you're like, you were apples, you were biochemist book, you were, COVID.
But you'd always have that one kid that was like, my nan went to the shop and brought an anthropology album, and he's like, what?
Double A? Stick to what? Just say anthropology.
Anthropology album. Yeah, that's right. And then the poor kid on who goes next is like, my nan went to the shop and brought an anthropology album. And he's like, oh, you've ruined the game already. Half the kids here can't fucking say what you just said.
Yeah, or you get the kid that would say something really, really naughty, and it'd be like, "Oh, well, everyone's got to say that now, haven't they?" And everyone goes, funny.
You forgot one key thing. The nice dildo.
We were all thinking it. And then does someone ever just turn around and say, "Oh yeah, and my nan's now run out of her pension. There's no more money left." Morrison's has all of her money after buying 35 items, each worth 25
No. But we did have someone that turned around and said, "My nan's dead."
Oh,
no, I'm joking. They didn't really. Luckily, we never had that. As funny as it would be. No, I'm joking. I'm completely joking.
It would have been. I enjoyed those games. The drama lessons at school were fun.
It wasn't in drama. That was in like maths or English. Every class had its own game.
Oh.
For some, like we had Zap. Was that Zap? Was it called Zap?
Splat,
Zap in drama.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Splat and Zap in drama. In maths, we had 21. Have you ever played 21?
Is it where you have to? I remember this vaguely.
Like you go through the class and you say you either say 1, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
And then the next person can't mimic how many numbers you've said, but has to carry on. And the person that lands on 21, or if you mess up, you're out.
Yeah. So,
that was maths. English was like the memory one. And I think that was it. All the rest of the bloody classes were boring.
No games.
No games, boring class, losers.
In biology, it's like, who can stimulate the deceased muscle now?
Well done, Jessica. You've made the frog kick.
Now for the electrode.
Now make him dance.
We've talked a lot about school.
But Sarah don't want to make him dance. Make him fucking dance.
That's like, either that's the audio snippet that never makes it into the show, or it's the audio snippet we have right at the front of our first ever episode.
Oh, that's staying in. I'm not editing that out. Editing that out.
No way, Jose.
Mate, we can't edit out all of our gold comedy. All right, Joel, I know you're a Christian, but you've got to... People like a bit of funny, you know what I mean?
They like a
can't
bit of
just be
funny,
talking about shit.
We can
Like a
offer
bit
the
of
funny.
I can offer the funny. I don't know about you. You're
Oh,
Christian.
it's hilarious. I'm a Christian.
How long have you been a Christian for, Joel?
Ever since I
When
was
was the last
born.
time you checked?
Last time you checked. Well, I still had the mark burned into my forehead, so... 1 minute, I'm going to have a drink.
Well, at least let us hear it.
I'm doing it silent. Do you want to hear the last little bit of the drink?
I want a little bit of a slurp. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You know, quick question for you.
Quick answer for you.
Have you ever? I know you're a Christian, but you're not like a devout Christian. Or at least I don't think you are when I've spoken to you. And if you have, Lord save you. But have you ever prayed, or do you not believe in God? Are you a Christian who doesn't believe in God?
To be fair, like I don't really know where I'm at with it all at the moment. I don't really. I'm not.
Wow.
I haven't sort of taken a while. Not really
You're
thought
in
about
this,
it all that
Jesus.
much.
Yeah.
You snitching on me with God? No, I
Well,
just haven't really thought all that much about it, to be honest. In quite a while. I used to think
you
about it a lot.
have you ever prayed?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I to be honest, I think a lot more people than you would imagine have prayed.
I've prayed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have.
I don't believe in God, but I've prayed.
But I think the idea of prayer is interesting because it's the idea of effectively, at least to me at this point, sharing your problems or sharing what's concerning you with something else. With
Mine wasn't like that. You know, I prayed for things. This might be really bad. Sorry, anyone that's a Christian. Sorry, Joel. Sorry to your parents.
You don't have to apologize. It's fine.
Sorry, Joel. I'm really sorry. Sorry, God. I'm joking. But like when I prayed, I was very young. But it was more I prayed for things that I wanted, and they weren't like it wasn't. Dear Jesus, I want a Optimus Prime Transformer figure.
Oh, they are cool though.
They are cool. That was more to Santa though. It's like, yo, Santa bitch, give me that roll back. That was my Santa letter.
Optimus Prime.
Give me the Optimus. But my prayers to God, Zeus, Odin, whatever, were more like and this is quite personal. Were more like when I wanted to either do something or have the ability to do something in my life. I prayed because it was so either unfathomably unobtainable. Really nice wordplay there, Gareth. Pat yourself on the back. Or I just didn't have the confidence to do it myself.
Oh, so you it was the person you wanted to be, or the things you wanted to achieve or acquire that you felt you couldn't. Yeah. You would speak to a higher power about that. Yeah,
basically.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I prayed for superpowers.
Oh, I've wished for superpowers. I still wish for superpowers. I'm like,
I still wish for superpowers.
Every time you see a spider and you're like, you're just gonna bite me. I won't look. Just bite me.
No, I wouldn't want to be Spider-Man.
Then you realise, oh no, it's just a...
Sex would be really sticky.
Darling, I'm sorry. I can't let go. So the
Get
problem.
your hand off my boob.
I'll-
Can't. Sorry.
Well, they make that joke
I'll
in
rip
the
it off.
films.
Have you ever seen that film? It's got Drake Bell in it. You know, which
That.
shouldn't really be saying his name because he's in jail now.
Oh,
I think.
I don't
know.
No
However,
idea.
he played quote unquote Spider-Man, and it was like a spooky what's that film called with the scream and it's a piss take? Scary movie.
Scary movie.
It was like a scary movie, but it was absolutely fucking hilarious. Like when I was younger, it was so funny.
I don't
And I
know
highly
what film
recommend
this
watching it
is,
if you've never
but
seen
I
it.
feel like I knew we need to watch it now. Whatever the.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
I'd recommend it. It's like it's a great shit film.
I'd also recommend Frozen. Go watch Frozen.
I'm never gonna watch Frozen. Sorry. Ever. You and Lucas could tell me as much as you'd like to go and watch Frozen. I'm never going to watch Frozen.
It's like a cult classic now.
I'm not gonna watch Frozen.
Sure, it's a cult classic,
I'm
like
not
among
going to
11
watch
Frozen.
Frozen. I'm never.
We need to do a vocal warm-ups a second.
Huh? Don't do vocal warm up. Don't do a vocal warm up in the middle of the podcast, Joel.
Ooh. That
Joel?
sounds terrible, doesn't it? Need to sort
You
out.
sound terrible.
Thank you.
Terribly good.
Hey, I like
Got
your
him.
style.
You see what you do there? You
lurking
lure him in.
Round the corner with a
Lure
nice
him in.
little pep talk.
Yeah,
little...
you lure him in with like a towel over your hand and what looks to be a knife, and you push him into the back, like into the tiniest corner that you can, and then you take off the towel and it's just an ice lolly. That's what you do. I got you, fucking way.
When you said that, it reminded me of when you go through an airport and they have to scan your bags. They have to scan your luggage, and they have to dig through it for any suspiciously shaped items.
Ooh. Have you ever travelled with suspicious items, Joel?
According to the airport, I have. And let me tell you, in fact, it was the most recent time I went away, which was years ago now. But we went away to see my grandparents over in Spain.
Yep.
And now in Spain, we usually take like one plug adapter, European to UK adapter each. So I thought the sensible thing to do would be to bring an extension cable with like 8 sockets. So you go, great, that's just great, because you only need one,
One extension.
yeah, thank you, one of those.
Yeah.
And then you've just got 8 UK plugs that you can use. Brilliant. So,
Yeah.
and we never ever book a big hold case. We only ever take 10 kilogram hand luggage because that's all we ever need. So I'm going through, the bags go on the run, they go through the x-ray machine, and I see that my bag gets sideswiped and goes down the one they have to look through. I'm like, great. So I go and stand in the area while they start to unpack my bag and take everything out. And they're taking all of these items. They're taking out a laptop, taking out a phone, or they're taking out a camera. They're taking out all of these items that, in my mind, I think could quite easily conceal a weapon of some kind. And then the lady stops. And she looks down at my case. And she looks back up at me. Looking me up and down. Looks down again. Picks up the extension cable and says, "What's this?"
What the fuck is that?
I was like, it's for plugs. And she just looked at me.
Was this woman English or Spanish?
No, this was in Manchester Airport.
Oh man.
And she said, "What's this?" And I was like, "It's an extension cable for plugs." And she just looked at me, didn't say anything, just put it down in my bag and gave me the bag. And I was like, "Oh, well, glad we got to the bottom of that one."
Where has this woman been for the past 60 years?
I was taken aback for sure. I had no idea what she was thinking I was concealing within the extension cable.
Have you ever been patted down?
Yes, I have.
Yes, but yes, I have.
I was thinking when it happened.
I need to hear this story now.
Years ago. I have, and I think it happened. Well, so my dad studied when he was younger. He did Chinese studies at university, and he went into China for a year to speak the language and to work there.
So your dad can speak Mandarin?
He can, less now, but he used to be really good. He used to be great with speaking Mandarin. And like 10 plus years ago now, he wanted to take us back to where he was studying as a youngster, as a cheeky 20-year-old. So we went back there, and my dad, being a very resourceful chap, decided he was going to have a penknife. He bought a lovely penknife while he was out there. And it was really useful. We use it for various bits and bobs around the trip. And when we get to the airport, one of the airports, it was either to come back to the UK or it was to fly to another part of the country. He forgets to take the knife out of his handbag, out of his carry-on bag. So the guy at the screen was just shouting like, "Knife! Knife!" And we're like, "Where?" And they seize my dad's bag and they dig through it rapidly and they pull it out and they look at him with these big eyes and say, "See? Knife." And we were like, "Oh, the pen knife."
Oh, it's a penknife. Right.
So he gets the penknife taken off him and we all get patted down.
Oh.
To make sure.
It's a fucking penknife, though.
To be fair, but it was also a penknife in someone's hand on an aeroplane.
It's only a penknife, but to be fair, it's only a penknife. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can do lots of things with a penknife. We could have been opening bottles of wine the whole trip. You never know.
True.
What about you? Have you ever been patted down or searched?
I think once, but like it was so. Like I've only ever been in that, that circular one, where you go through the thing and it goes beep. Oh, sorry, mate. Can you like come through here and then stand there, put your hands above your head, like the tragedy thing. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, thank you. And then that the screen goes past you. And then you're like, okay, mate, you're free to go. That's happened a couple of times. However, I don't think I've ever been patted. My dad gets patted down because I think he's there's metal in his teeth, or there's some he's got metal somewhere.
That I bet that's just because I think he's concealing loads in his calves.
True.
He's like, there's no way that's all muscle. You must have drugs packed all in there.
But no, I don't think I ever have. I normally just hand them a ticket saying, "Listen, I'm an android," and they're like, oh, "Okay, cool."
I went to school with androids. I can recite more than the alphabet if you want me to.
Test me, I dare you.
Ask me what my nan bought from the shop. I dare you.
But I think I might have been patted down when I went to Bansko, but I think we all got patted down.
Oh, you was a shady bunch, were you?
Yeah, true. I'm always shady, but sometimes when you look at them and you give them that look of like, "Don't fuck with me, cunt," then they back off,
So I'm guessing that we are now an explicit podcast.
Mate, I've swore like 50 times.
Yeah, we haven't said that yet.
Oh, so that one word makes us explicit, does it?
Oh, mate, it makes us it puts us a level up for sure.
I want to be appealing to my Aussie audience, okay? That's what I want. Screw the Americans, all right? I want Aussies.
Is that an Australian
Englishman?
Word? Is it like an Australian word, or is it? I don't know.
It is, yeah. Right. They claimed it.
Fair enough.
But Americans are like, you can't even. You know what? You know what's funny about America?
I've never been.
A lot of things. But the funny thing is, if you keep up with UFC at all,
not massively.
It is a fighting championship. Like, people break their legs, people get bloodied, battered, split open, all this type of stuff, and it's very graphic. You got like men and women standing opposed to another man or woman, cut open with blood literally like streaming down their face, but they're not allowed to swear.
Yeah, that it is.
I'm like, bro, I just watched someone have his leg broken, and you're gonna tell me that you can't say the word shit?
I did see Conor McGregor's leg break, and that was gnarly.
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
That was like, ooh, that was uncomfortable to look at. I felt.
Yeah.
I think we all felt that one.
Yeah.
He probably felt
Well,
it more than most.
That very same night, Joe Rogan said the word shit, and then he apologized afterwards. I'm like, what, how does that make any, like, where is this logic? Because it's an American company, clearly, because any other company in the world would be fine with swearing. But America seems to have such a tight grip on profanity. It doesn't make any sense.
I'd be interested to know where the history of censoring, profanities comes from, because I can sense your profanities. Like you say, when you can have that amount of gore, and it's not even gore for gore's sake. Like, it's genuine fight. It's genuine, raw hurting each other.
It's not fake.
Yeah. But yet you can't say a bad word. Maybe they just feel that completes the explicit picture too much. Maybe they're like, we've got everything else. We can't have the final pillar of explicitness.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. Let's be completely realistic. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
it's a word.
It's just a word.
You're not being offensive to anyone. You know.
I was thinking then, maybe, but it's all of the kids that watch UFC. But I'm like, actually, that's probably it's still UFC.
What would you rather your kid do? Swear, or beat someone up?
Break a man's leg.
Which one?
You got to man up. That's what it is.
You gotta man up.
Either break his leg.
You gotta man up and do both.
Leave him for death.
Anyway, I had a dream, right?
Okay.
And this is a very vivid dream recently.
Okay.
And it was so bizarre. And I've had a couple vivid dreams over the course of my life. But this one was like the one dream where my own consciousness was conscious, but not enough to know it was dreaming. If that makes sense. Like, I felt like I was awake and I could formulate coherent thoughts in my dream, but it wasn't quite enough to realize I was in a dream until something happened.
I see.
Right?
I am with you.
So,
I do understand.
Yeah. So I was on a bus, and this bus was just going around this area that I didn't know, and for some reason I was in a suit. So eventually I get off this bus, and this is the only part that I really remember. And I get off this bus, and where I am is on the bottom of a hill. So I go up the hill, and at the top is this giant, didn't look too big at the time, but this giant, like, smooth plastic kind of, I don't want to call it a slide. It wasn't a slide. It was like just the hill going back down, but if you just walk down, you'd slide down it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. I don't have any choice. It's either go back down the hill or go down the slide. And I've got to go that way. For some reason, I don't know why I had to go that way, but I had to go that way. So I sit down, and I had these like smart shoes on, like those black shoes with the raised heel, that type of stuff.
Oh, like
right?
the like jazz shoes almost.
Kind of, yeah. It was just the smart business shoes, you know.
Oh no, sorry. I know what you mean. Yeah, they're like Brogues or Oxfords or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I start sliding down, and at the very bottom of the hill is like, it seems like it goes back up into a new hill. So like you've got to slide at some pace just to get back over this next hill. So I'm sliding down, and as I go to go up the next hill, my shoes feel like they get caught. And all of a sudden, I'm springboarded literally about 100 to 150 feet up in the air, looking down on all the pedestrians looking up at me, flying through the air. I can feel it, a very real feeling in my stomach, of me like having that inertia of being in the air. If you've ever been on like a roller coaster or something, as your stomach drops. And the complete sense of weightlessness and everything that comes along with it as I'm gliding. Now the floor below me is concrete. Right?
Oh gosh. Oh no.
So immediately I'm falling. And all of a sudden my consciousness feels this inertia and I'm gliding through the air. And somehow I say, well, if this is real, I'm dead. So I closed my eyes, breathed, took a big breath in, and like I was waiting for an impact to die. And then I woke up in my bed.
You didn't even have the jolt.
No. Like that's what I was kind of expecting. I was like, I think I must have just come to terms that much that I was gonna die, that when I woke up and there was no impact, that my body just woke up. I don't know. It was so weird.
You were just like, oh great, I didn't die. I guess we'll get on with the day.
No, I wasn't like old Grey. I was like, oh for fuck's sake, I've got to carry on now.
I get that feeling of there is a name for it. When you jolt awake, I believe it's like an electric shock. Isn't it electric shock that your body sends to you because it thinks you're dying? And you're just trying to fall asleep and your body's like, oh, stay alive. And you're like, I am trying to sleep, brain.
I don't know whether I don't think it's your body trying to tell you that you're dying. It's your what happens when you jolt yourself awake is the fact that you haven't gone into deep REM sleep. So I don't know if it's chemicals that like numbs your body, but when you get into that like latter half of your deep REM sleep, it pretty much turns off your body, so that when you're running in a dream, you're not running in your bed.
The hypnic jerk.
Picnic jerk.
Not a hypnic, not a picnic jerk.
Oh, you're a picnic jerk.
I steal people's picnics.
Yeah, but yeah. So like, when you're in that deep REM, you're not running in your bed when you're running in the dream. But if you haven't like gone into that deep REM at all, and you like fall, your body knows what it feels like to fall.
Yeah.
So it jolts it.
I'm just sure I just remember there's something about. What's the first hit?
What's the first one?
Hypnic jerk. There's strong, sudden, brief contraction of the body that occur just as you're falling asleep. Wakefulnessly, the involuntary twitches resemble the jump you may experience when you're startled or scared. Experience these contractions, however, these moments will not force you awake. Many sleep through them. Oh, that's true. I have slept through them sometimes. You ever, like if you're sleeping next to your partner or whatever, or you're just sleeping next to a wall and you like punch a wall in the night accidentally, or you slap your hand against something hard and it really hurts.
Sleep next to your partner. Good one, Joel. Thank you. Wow.
You're one. It's there for you. It's in the future.
It's there. No, I'm gonna die falling from a big slide.
A big slide. Clearly. While you're wearing some brogues.
While I'm wearing some brogues and a suit. But goddamn, did I look good.
I have a question for you that you might not.
But one sec. Hold your question. The weirdest thing for me is that I've never, and I doubt you ever have, because when your body wakes up when you're dying in your dream, it wakes up because you have no conception of how dying feels like, and your body doesn't know what happens after death, so it's not like your dream can carry on. That's why you wake up when you die in your dream. But the fact that I was in my dream and was like, well, if this is real, I'm dead. let's feel the impact, and closed my eyes, waiting for me to slam from 100 foot into concrete. It's slightly worrying.
I'm really impressed with the calm nature of your response of just saying, do you know what? This is my reality. let's roll with it because there's nothing else I can do. I'm sure that's maybe it would be different if you're in that situation in real life. But
I don't know whether I would.
Do you think? You think you just kind of be there and be like, do you know what? It's been a good run.
I think, well, like, there's this, if you've ever listened to when Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey wrote a book on something similar. His was actually a real experience. Obviously a very different man to me, in an incredibly different circumstance. He was in Hawaii when the Mitchell? Fuck, what? Gaz? Let's talk English, shall we?
All right.
No, I'm not.
Do you want some diction?
When the missile launch happened, and he was on Hawaii, the fake missile launch, basically.
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about that.
I probably watched a documentary on it one time, but I couldn't think.
Like someone in Hawaii, I'm guessing the government or someone in the government, pressed the missile launch button, and almost basically sent a nuke. I'm guessing to Hawaii or something like that. And there was just alarms going off saying like, I don't know, evacuate as quickly as you can. I don't know, something along those lines. And Jim Carrey happened to be there when it was happening. And everyone thought they were just going to die. Because of what had just happened. And he expressed that in his moments, and that they deemed it to be a false alarm afterwards. But in the moments that he thought he was going to die, he'd never felt more calm in his life.
That's interesting. I would be so interested to know what that'd be like to feel in that moment, because I don't know whether I would. I don't think I'd be out of my mind crazy, but I think I would definitely be looking for some way to survive. Now, obviously, in those moments, it's different, because if you think there is no way for you to survive, you know, you're a goner either way, then maybe your brain would just be like, yeah, this is happening. But I don't know.
I think that's what it was. It was the case that, like, I was 100 feet in the air, and below me was solid concrete. So it was like, well, I'm dead.
My dreams are nuts. My dreams are like, they're all over the place. They're just, I don't dream all that much, but do you know, like, if you've got like if anyone out there's got like a VR headset or like an Oculus, and you can go in and there's this one environment that you can be in where you have all these bubbles just like floating about, and you are in no space or time. There are just bubbles of unknown size, of reference to anything. And that is like my dreams, but my dreams are a bit more spicy, like bubbles, but with my family members in them, floating about, waving at me. And then I wake up.
I don't know, flying through the air to die sounds a lot more exciting.
Oh yeah, it's no. You've got me on the thrills. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I think if if I was to say that, because I don't really have a lot of dreams of falling. It was so bizarre to me, because most of my dreams where I die, I'm in a car crash.
Oh gosh.
Right. But like the falling ones are really weird, and the fact, this is why I'm still hung up about it, because the fact that I was just like, let me just wait for the impact, and then you wake up expecting to die, and you're in your bed, is like completely surreal.
Have you ever had a double wake up where you wake up in your bed, you're confused, and then you wake up again?
I wasn't confused. I had a dream. I had a dream where I'd woken up and grabbed my phone, looked for my alarm and turned it off, and put it on the pillow next to me. And then my alarm went off, and I looked at my phone, and it was on the floor, on the floor next to my bed. I was like, did I just seriously have a dream about turning my fucking alarm off?
That's a dream I think about every Monday morning. And the rest of the week, for that matter.
Wow. Well, you're depressing. I know I was like expecting to die, but Jesus Christ, come on.
Oh.
Get a hold of yourself.
Get a grip, man.
Get a grip, man up. Come on.
Love it.
What was your question anyway?
Oh, it's gone now. Completely entirely forgotten that. We moved on.
Oh, I told you to hold on to it.
I did, but that was like 10 minutes ago.
No, it wasn't 10 minutes ago.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. It's probably about 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. You would have been shit at the memory game, I'll tell you that.
Well, what was the memory game again?
Good one. Right, yeah.
See, clever.
You know what? You should do comedy. You should really do comedy. Holy moly. You do great. Honestly, you do great.
I don't think I would.
No, you do great for like toddlers.
Well, you just got to fall over. You'd be good for toddlers. You fall over. In your brogues.
I didn't fall.
But it got caught, didn't it? You got caught. Your brogues
I
got
didn't
caught.
fall. I got like magically springboarded up. Iterum was watching me, being like, "You're weird."
That's a nerdy D&D reference that no one will understand. I like your style.
That's all right. We understand it.
That's all that matters. Shall we?
We'll understand it. Lucas will understand it. Oath will understand it. Shall we watch?
Mission
Joel?
accomplished.
If you want to kiss me that badly, say so.
Can I kiss you?
No.
Oh, we talk about love, or we will talk about love. I'm gonna bring that up. Okay.
Love. Talk about. Well, you can talk about love all you like because I've never experienced it.
It's gonna be okay. I think.
No, I'm fine.
Pass
I
on the
don't need
shoulder.
love in my life.
Why don't we try a few outros, or just a different outro, one that sounds?
Why don't? I thought we agreed on this last time that we're not going to do an outro. We're just going to say, "See you later, dickhead."
Well, that's what I mean. Just like record that audio snippet.
No, bye.
No, you said no. You
Bye.
You hang up first.
Bye.
You hang up first.
Bye.
No, you.
I don't want to hang up. I'm not hanging up on anyone.
We're on a call.
No, we're not.
Here we are.
We're face to face. I'm touching your face right now.
Yes.
No. Bye.
In a bit.
I think that's great.
I think without.
I know. Deep down you hate it, but
I absolutely despise it. It was fine. The touching my face. I mean, you can if fine. You can if you want. You can touch my face.
I've stopped recording.
Oh, have you actually?
No, I haven't. Lol. Go on.
Can you imagine if I'd have stopped then? Well, I'll start again. Oh no, I've stopped
Baited.
now. Oh, we've done it now.
Oh.
So
Why do you want to do outros?
not an outro. It's not like, thank you for watching. If you like this, please like us on Facebook and subscribe. And remember,
Please
next
sponsor
episode's
us.
gonna be, please sponsor us. That'd be good. And it's like next episode's coming out every other week, which it probably isn't, but we'll say it is.
Yeah?
What just happened?
I died.
Did you? Oh no! Quick, call an ambulance.
Don't call an ambulance, just let it happen.
In your brogues.
Let me feel the impact, please. Once you get a taste of death, you can't go back.
Oh my gosh, for fuck's sake.
It's like that fucking Black Mirror episode where like puts a I don't know what it's called. It allows you to feel other people's stimulations. So when he was a doctor and he put it on a patient who died, he experienced death, and afterwards, like, he ended up becoming a murderer because he loved the experience of death so much.
Wow, I didn't see that episode.
Have you never seen that?
I saw some of Black
fucked.
Mirror, but I didn't. I stopped after a while, not for any other reason other than just life moved on, I guess. But I need to go back and finish it because I'd like to see them.
Moved on. I've only seen a couple, but that was one of the ones I saw. Because obviously, like, he puts it on a woman while he's having sex with her, so he can feel like multiple orgasms that she feels.
Wow, that's
but then it just
big brain move.
He basically just gets the taste for pain, pretty much, and enjoys it, and then eventually puts it on, like, ends up having it on a patient who's dying, experienced death, and then he, yeah. Anyway.
But yeah.
Well, Joel, thanks for talking to me.
Why? Will no one else talk to you?
Do you really have to bring that up?
Oh, sorry. I just thought it was.
It's just you could have just said bye.
It's just me and you, man. Don't worry about it.
You could have just said bye.
There's no one else listening.
And like everyone else in the world, just say goodbye and never come back.
Goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend.
Bye, my friend.
You have been the one. No, seriously though. Goodbye, Joel.
Seriously?
It's been lovely talking to you.
It's been nice.
It has been nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll speak to each other next time. I won't hopefully have died in my dream again.
Yeah.
And we can talk about yourself. We can talk about myself, and we can talk about everybody else. Woo!
It's been great. I love the music this episode, by the way.
You love the music?
Yeah. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't added in
It's
post at
always
all.
great.
We can hear it all the time. I loved it.
God, I hate you so much. Why can't you just like either stick to the bit and see it through to the end, or break the fourth wall straight away? You know? It's either the music's real, Joel, or the music's not real. And I guess people have to figure that out.
Who knows? We might even have a band in the back here just cracking on and playing it for us.
I might hire one.
Guys, can we
Or have I hired
can we
one?
just keep it down a little bit? Cheers. Anyway, Gareth, it's been great today. We had good chats.
It's been okay.
Good to hear. I'll take okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, you will. I'll see you soon, babe.
In a bit, dude.
In a bit, bro. Fuck off then.